The Winter Wonderland of William and Wendy. One chilly morning, William and Wendy woke up to find their backyard sparkling with fresh, fluffy snow. The world looked like a shiny white blanket, inviting them to explore. They bundled up in their warmest clothes, with scarves wrapped snugly and mittens ready for adventure. As they stepped outside, the snow crunched beneath their boots, and the air tingled with magic. Suddenly, a little snow bunny with twinkling eyes hopped out to greet them, its fur shimmering like tiny diamonds. Excited, William and Wendy followed the snow bunny across the snowy field. It led them to a hill that gleamed with icy crystals, perfect for sliding. They took turns zooming down the hill, laughing as the cold wind tickled their faces. Nearby, a friendly snow owl with sparkling feathers watched over them, hooting softly. The children built a snow fort together, stacking snow bricks carefully while the snow bunny and owl cheered them on. Their fort shimmered in the sunlight, a castle made of snow and friendship. As the sun began to set, painting the sky with pink and orange hues, William and Wendy snuggled inside their snow fort. The snow bunny curled up beside them, and the snow owl perched close by. They felt warm and happy, knowing they had found a winter wonderland full of magic and new friends. With sleepy smiles, they promised to return to their snowy playground again soon, ready for more adventures in the sparkling world they had discovered together. The Odyssey of Charlie and Chloe. One sunny morning, Charlie the kitten and Chloe the puppy woke up feeling extra adventurous. The forest near their home sparkled with tiny magical lights, and the air smelled like sweet wildflowers. "Let's go on a big adventure today," said Charlie with a happy purr. Chloe wagged her tail and barked, "Yes, let's explore the sparkling forest and see what wonders we can find." Off they went, their paws softly padding on the mossy ground, ready for the day's surprises. As they wandered deeper into the forest, Charlie spotted a trail of glowing butterflies fluttering just ahead. "Look, they're leading us somewhere special," he whispered. Chloe followed closely, her nose twitching with curiosity. The butterflies danced above a small, shimmering lake that sparkled like diamonds under the sun. "Wow!" Chloe exclaimed. "Let's dip our paws in the water and see if it feels as magical as it looks." Together, they splashed gently, giggling as cool water tickled their toes. Suddenly, a friendly frog hopped out from behind a lily pad and croaked, "Welcome, brave explorers. If you solve my riddle, a treasure of friendship will appear." Charlie and Chloe looked at each other with big smiles and nodded eagerly. The frog asked, "What can you catch but never throw?" They thought hard, then Chloe barked happily, "A cold." "Right," laughed the frog. "Your answer is full of fun and friendship." And just like that, sparkling hearts floated up from the lake, surrounding Charlie and Chloe with warm, glowing light. They felt happy and proud, knowing their adventure was full of magic and friendship. As the sun began to set, Charlie and Chloe sat on a soft patch of grass, watching the sky turn pink and orange. "What a wonderful day," said Charlie, curling up beside Chloe. "I'm so glad we went on this adventure together," Chloe said with a happy sigh. They knew that with each other's friendship, every day could be a grand odyssey full of fun, laughter, and magic. And so, under the twinkling stars, they dreamed of many more adventures to come. The Little Falcons Dive. Once upon a time, in a bright green forest, there lived a little falcon named Finn. Finn was brave and curious, always dreaming of soaring high in the sky. One sunny morning, as he perched on the tallest tree, he watched the other birds dive and swoop. "I want to dive like them," he chirped excitedly. Finn's friends, Bella the bunny and Toby the turtle, came to cheer him on. "You can do it, Finn," Bella said, hopping up and down. "Just spread your wings and let the wind take you." Toby smiled wisely. "Remember to trust yourself, little falcon." Finn felt a flutter of excitement in his tummy. Taking a deep breath, Finn spread his wings wide. He looked down at the soft grass below and thought of all the fun he could have. "Here I go," he shouted, and with a brave flap of his wings, he leaped off the branch. Whoosh! Down he went in a fantastic dive, the wind rushing past his feathers. Finn felt free. He twirled and soared, dipping and diving with glee. Bella and Toby watched in awe as their little friend flew like the wind. "You did it, Finn. You're flying," Bella cheered. Finn laughed, spinning in the air, feeling like the happiest falcon in the world. With a gentle landing, Finn touched down beside his friends. "That was amazing," he exclaimed. Bella hopped over and hugged him. "You were so brave." Toby nodded. "You can always dive again, Finn. Just remember, every adventure starts with a leap of faith." Finn smiled, feeling proud and ready for more fun. The Little Emu's Waddle. In the wide, sunny outback, little Eddie the emu was learning to waddle. His tiny feet tapped gently on the red earth as he tried to keep up with his big brothers and sisters. "Waddle, waddle," he giggled, but his steps were a bit wobbly and funny. Eddie wondered if his waddle was special or just a little clumsy. As he moved, the leaves rustled and the birds sang a happy tune just for him. Eddie's friend, Kiki the kangaroo, hopped over with a big smile. "Come join me," she called. Eddie waddled after her as she bounced high and low. "Look," Kiki said, "your waddle is like a dance. It's fun and full of jumps and twirls." Eddie laughed and tried to bounce with Kiki, feeling the joy of moving in his own way. Suddenly, his waddle didn't seem clumsy. It was special and lively. Next, Ollie the cockatoo flew down and flapped his bright white wings. "Eddie, your waddle is like a little adventure," he chirped. "Every step you take is a story waiting to happen." Eddie's eyes sparkled as he imagined all the places his waddle could take him, through soft sand, past tall trees, and over sparkling streams. "Let's explore together," Ollie said, soaring above with a happy whistle. Just then, Dingo Dan padded up with a friendly grin. "Your waddle is strong and steady," he said. "It's perfect for exploring the outback with friends." Eddie felt proud and strong. Together, they all waddled, hopped, and fluttered through the sunlit land. Eddie's special waddle was not just his own, it was part of a wonderful adventure with friends by his side. And every step was a happy step. Emma's Elegant Elephant. Once upon a time, in a sunny little village, lived a girl named Emma. Emma loved to explore the magical forest near her home. One fine day, she stumbled upon a giant, sparkling elephant named Ellie. Ellie wore the most beautiful hats Emma had ever seen. There were polka dots, stripes, and even a hat with shiny stars. Emma clapped her hands in delight. "Oh, Ellie, you are so elegant," she exclaimed. Ellie wiggled her big ears and said, "Thank you, Emma. Would you like to dance with me?" Emma's eyes sparkled with excitement. "Yes, please," she giggled. Just then, a gentle breeze blew through the forest and the flowers began to sway. Ellie started to twirl around and Emma joined her, laughing and dancing. It felt like a dream. As they danced, birds flew above them, chirping a cheerful tune. Suddenly, more animals joined the fun. There were bunnies hopping, squirrels twirling, and even a wise old owl that clapped his wings. Emma and Ellie had created a magical dance party in the forest. Everyone was laughing, and the forest was filled with joy. As the sun began to set, painting the sky with pink and orange, Emma and Ellie took a bow. "Thank you for the best day ever," Emma said, hugging Ellie tightly. Ellie smiled and replied, "Anytime you want to dance, just call my name." With that, Emma waved goodbye and promised to return, her heart full of happiness. The heart of kindness. Once upon a time, in a bright and sunny forest, there lived a big, fluffy bear named Benny. Benny loved to play, dance, and sing with his friends. But one day, he noticed that his friends were feeling a bit down. The rabbit was sad because he lost his favorite carrot, and the squirrel was worried because it was too quiet. Benny thought hard. How could he help them feel better? Benny had an idea. He gathered some flowers and made a big, beautiful bouquet. He ran to his rabbit friend and said, "Here, this is for you. I picked these just for you because you make me smile." The rabbit's eyes lit up, and he hopped around with joy, forgetting all about his lost carrot. Next, Benny thought of the squirrel. He noticed the squirrel looking lonely on a branch. So he climbed up and said, "Let's play together. I brought some acorns for us to share." The squirrel's frown turned into a big smile as they started to play, laugh, and share acorns together. As the sun began to set, Benny felt a warm glow in his heart. He realized that kindness was like magic. It made everyone happier. All the animals in the forest gathered around him, and they shared stories, laughter, and more acts of kindness. Benny smiled and said, "When we are kind to each other, we fill our hearts with happiness." From that day on, Benny and his friends made a promise to always be kind to one another. They discovered that kindness was the most wonderful thing in the world. And so, their hearts were always full of joy, and they lived happily ever after, spreading kindness everywhere they went. The Christmas magic of Max and Mia. Once upon a time, in a warm and cozy house, there lived two curious siblings named Max and Mia. They loved Christmas. One chilly evening, while decorating the Christmas tree, they discovered a magical snow globe hidden under the couch. It sparkled and shimmered, and they could hear soft giggles coming from inside. Max and Mia shared a look of excitement. "What do you think it is?" asked Mia. "Let's find out," replied Max, shaking the globe gently. As soon as they shook the snow globe, a swirl of glittering snowflakes burst out. Suddenly, Max and Mia found themselves in a magical winter wonderland. Everything was covered in fluffy white snow, and the air was filled with the scent of gingerbread cookies. "Wow!" they exclaimed, looking around at the twinkling lights and the joyous snowmen dancing nearby. "This is amazing," said Mia, her eyes sparkling with delight. In the heart of the Wonderland, they met a friendly little elf named Jingle. "Welcome," he said with a big smile. "We need your help to spread Christmas cheer. Can you help us share gifts with all the children in the world?" Max and Mia nodded enthusiastically. They filled their arms with colorful presents and followed Jingle as he led them to a magical sleigh. "Let's fly," he cheered. With a whoosh, the sleigh soared into the sky. They flew over rooftops, spreading gifts and laughter everywhere. Max and Mia giggled as they sprinkled magic dust over each home, making sure every child felt the joy of Christmas. "This is the best adventure ever," shouted Max as they zipped through the starry night. Mia smiled and said, "I love sharing happiness." After their wonderful adventure, Jingle brought them back to the living room. The snow globe sparkled once more, and Max and Mia hugged each other tightly. "That was magical," said Mia, "and we learned that the best gift is sharing love and joy with others." Max nodded and added, "Let's always remember to spread Christmas magic." And from that day on, every Christmas was filled with their special magic of kindness and giving. The Green Expedition of Gracie and Greg. One sunny morning in the greenest forest, Gracie the frog woke up with a big smile. "Today is the day for an adventure," she croaked excitedly. She hopped around her lily pad, splashing water everywhere. Just then, Greg the snail peeked out from his cozy shell. "What adventure, Gracie?" he asked with wide eyes. "Let's explore the magical green forest," Gracie said, waving her tiny webbed feet. Greg smiled, feeling brave. Off they went, ready to discover new things. As they ventured deeper into the forest, they found tall trees swaying gently in the breeze. "Look at those giant mushrooms," Gracie exclaimed, pointing with her little foot. Greg slowly crawled closer, amazed at the colors. Suddenly, a friendly bluebird flew by. "Hello there, are you on an expedition?" she chirped. "Yes," they both shouted. The bluebird flapped her wings and said, "Follow me, I know a secret spot." The bluebird led Gracie and Greg to a hidden glade filled with sparkling flowers and dancing fireflies. "Wow, it's so beautiful," gasped Gracie, her eyes sparkling. Greg looked around, his shell glistening in the sunlight. "This is amazing," he said, sliding over to a bright flower. They twirled and danced, feeling the magic of the forest. "Let's play tag among the flowers," Gracie suggested, and off they went, laughing and having fun. After a fun day of playing, Gracie and Greg sat down to rest. "This was the best adventure ever," Gracie said, her heart full of happiness. Greg nodded, his eyes shining. "I couldn't have done it without you, Gracie," he said. Gracie smiled, knowing that together they could explore anything. As the sun began to set, they promised to have more adventures in the green forest, side by side, forever friends. The Tale of Timmy and Tina. One sunny morning, Timmy put on his favorite red shirt and grabbed his little adventure backpack. Outside in the garden, he met Tina, a wise and playful turtle who could talk. Tina smiled and said, "Hello, Timmy. Today is perfect for an adventure." Timmy's eyes sparkled with excitement as he asked, "Where shall we go?" Tina pointed to the sparkling garden path and said, "Let's explore the magical garden where flowers sing and clouds float like cotton candy." Together, they stepped into a world full of colors and surprises. As they wandered along the path, the flowers began to sing sweet songs that made Timmy giggle and dance. Tina told stories about each flower's special magic. One flower whispered, "I can spread happiness with my petals." Timmy reached out to touch a glowing yellow bloom, and suddenly, tiny sparkles floated up into the air. The clouds above floated low and looked like soft, pink cotton candy that almost begged to be tasted. Timmy and Tina laughed together, feeling like they had stepped into a dream full of fun and wonder. Suddenly, a gentle breeze carried a tiny sparkling seed towards Timmy. Tina explained, "This is a wishing seed. If we plant it carefully, something wonderful will grow." Timmy and Tina found a cozy spot by a bright green bush and planted the seed together. They watered it with a little magic from Tina's shell, and soon a small glowing sprout popped up. Timmy cheered, "Wow, it's growing so fast." Tina smiled. "That's the magic of friendship and imagination." As the sun began to set, Timmy and Tina sat side by side, dreaming of all the adventures still to come in their magical garden. The friendly eagles soar. High above the tall, green trees, Eddie the eagle loved to soar through the bright blue sky. His big wings spread wide as he glided with the warm breeze. Eddie wasn't just strong and fast, he was the friendliest eagle in the whole forest. Every day, he flew down to say hello to the animals below, sharing smiles and happy chirps. The forest was a place full of laughter and friendship, and Eddie loved being part of it all. One sunny morning, Eddie spotted a little white bunny hopping nervously near a big oak tree. The bunny's nose twitched as he looked all around, clearly lost. Eddie swooped down gently and asked, "Hello, little one. Are you okay?" The bunny's eyes brightened. "I'm lost and can't find my home," he said softly. Eddie flapped his wings with a smile. "Don't worry, I'll help you find your way." Together, they began their adventure through the forest. As they traveled, Eddie and the bunny met playful squirrels darting between branches and a cheerful bluebird singing a happy tune. "Follow us," the squirrels chattered, leading the way through twisting tree paths. The bluebird flew overhead, singing songs that made the journey feel like a fun game. Eddie's kind heart and the new friends they met made the bunny feel safe and happy, even when the forest seemed big and confusing. Finally, Eddie spotted a cozy burrow nestled beside a gentle stream. "This must be your home," he said with a happy flap of his wings. The bunny's face lit up with joy as he hopped quickly toward the burrow, where his family waited with open arms. Eddie felt proud and happy to have helped his new friend. As the sun began to set, Eddie soared high into the sky once more, knowing that kindness and friendship made every flight even more special. The Adventures of Timmy and Tommy. One sunny morning, Timmy and Tommy found a shimmering map tucked inside their toy chest. The map sparkled with stars and showed a path to a secret, magical forest just beyond their backyard. Excited and curious, the two brothers held hands and decided to follow the glowing trail. They packed a small backpack with snacks and set off, their hearts full of wonder and adventure. As Timmy and Tommy stepped into the magical forest, the trees seemed to whisper friendly greetings. Bright flowers bloomed all around, and colorful butterflies danced in the air. Suddenly, a wise owl swooped down and said, "Welcome, little explorers. Follow the sparkling stream to find the hidden waterfall." The boys giggled and followed the owl's advice, their eyes wide with delight. Down the winding path, the brothers met a playful squirrel who challenged them to a game of hide and seek. Timmy counted loudly, while Tommy darted behind bushes and trees. Laughter echoed through the forest as they played together, making a new furry friend. After the game, the squirrel pointed them toward a sparkling waterfall, shimmering like diamonds in the sunlight. The waterfall was even more magical than they imagined. Water droplets sparkled as they fell, and rainbows stretched across the mist. Timmy and Tommy dipped their fingers in the cool water and felt happy and brave. They realized that by exploring together, every moment was filled with magic and joy. Holding hands, they promised to always share adventures side by side. As the sun began to set, Timmy and Tommy followed the golden rays back home, their magical map gently folding itself away. They waved goodbye to their new animal friends and the enchanted forest, feeling proud and excited for the next adventure. Snuggled in bed that night, they dreamed of sparkling streams, friendly owls, and the endless magic of exploring the world together. The Christmas Carol of Charlie and Chloe. One chilly December evening, Charlie and Chloe found a curious little book under the Christmas tree. It wasn't an ordinary book. It sparkled with tiny stars and hummed softly when they touched it. As they opened it, they heard a gentle melody, the very first notes of a magical Christmas carol. Suddenly, the snowflakes outside began to twirl and dance, and the Christmas lights on the house flickered to life with bright, joyful colors. Excited, they sang the carol together, and to their surprise, the snowmen in the yard began to wiggle their carrot noses and sing along. The candy canes on the porch started to twirl like ballerinas, and the stars on the tree shimmered brighter than ever. Charlie and Chloe laughed as the magic filled the air, making their whole world twinkle with holiday cheer. As the carol reached its happiest part, a gentle snowflake floated down and landed softly on Chloe's nose. It sparkled and grew until it became a tiny, shimmering fairy. She smiled and said, "Thank you for singing the Christmas carol. Because of you, the magic of the season will shine bright all night." Then, with a sprinkle of fairy dust, the whole neighborhood glowed warmly, wrapped in a cozy blanket of holiday magic. Charlie and Chloe hugged each other with big smiles, feeling the true spirit of Christmas glowing inside their hearts. They knew this was a Christmas they would always remember, a carol that brought their world to life with laughter, music, and magic. And from that night on, whenever they sang the special carol, the magic would return, filling every Christmas with wonder and joy. The little turkeys gobble. In a sunny meadow, little Tilly the turkey looked up at the big turkeys gobbling loudly. "I want to gobble just like them," she chirped excitedly. But when she tried, her gobble came out soft and tiny. Tilly felt a little sad, but she decided to ask her friends for help. Maybe, she thought, they could teach her how to gobble big and strong. First, Tilly met Ollie the owl, who blinked his big round eyes and said, "Gobbling is about feeling happy inside. Try to think of your favorite thing." Tilly closed her eyes and thought about crunchy autumn leaves. She tried again, but her gobble was still small and soft. Ollie smiled gently and said, "That's a wonderful start. Keep trying, little one." Next, Tilly found Sammy the squirrel, who was busy gathering acorns. "You need to practice with fun," Sammy chattered. They played a game of jump and chase, and Tilly tried to gobble while running and laughing. Her gobble grew louder, but it still wasn't as big as the big turkeys. Sammy clapped his tiny paws and said, "Almost there. Keep playing and practicing." Finally, Tilly met Ruby the rabbit, who twitched her nose kindly. "Sometimes your own special sound is the best," Ruby said softly. Tilly thought about it and tried one more time, but this time she gobbled her very own gentle, sweet gobble. It wasn't loud like the big turkeys, but it made her friends smile big and clap happily. Tilly felt proud of her unique gobble. From that day on, Tilly knew that her little gobble was special in its own way. She didn't need to be loud to be heard. Her friends loved her gentle gobble, and Tilly loved being herself. And every time she gobbled, she felt happy and proud, sharing her unique song with the whole meadow. The chorus of kindness. In a bright, sunny forest where flowers danced in the breeze lived a rabbit named Ruby. Ruby loved to hop around, singing sweet songs. One day, while bouncing through the meadow, she met Ollie the owl. "Hello, Ollie," she chirped. "Your feathers are so beautiful today." Ollie smiled, his heart fluttering like a butterfly. "Thank you, Ruby. Your singing is a delight." Excited by their kind words, Ruby and Ollie decided to spread kindness throughout the forest. They hopped and flew to find their friends. They found Felix the fox, who was feeling a bit blue. "Felix, you are so clever," Ruby exclaimed. Felix's ears perked up. "Really? Thank you. I feel much better now." Next, they visited Dina the deer, who loved to play hide and seek. "Dina, your games are the best," Ollie hooted. Dina blushed and replied, "Oh, thank you. Let's play together." With that, they all joined in a game, laughter ringing through the trees like music. As the day went on, all the animals gathered in a circle. Ruby suggested, "Let's share our kind words and make a chorus of kindness." One by one, the animals shared something kind about each other. They sang sweet praises, and their hearts filled with joy. The forest echoed with their beautiful chorus, making every creature feel special. From that day on, the forest was never the same. Every time someone felt down, their friends would sing the chorus of kindness, lifting their spirits. And so, in the heart of the forest, Kindness became the most beautiful song of all, uniting every creature in a warm embrace. The little Nelson Sparrow's Crest. In a sunny, sparkling forest lived a little sparrow named Nelson. Nelson was small and fluffy, with bright eyes that twinkled with curiosity. He loved to sing and play, but there was one thing that made him feel a little sad. Nelson wished he had a colorful crest like the other birds in the forest. "If only I had a rainbow crest, I would be the happiest sparrow ever," he chirped one day. One sunny morning, Nelson decided to go on an adventure to find the most beautiful colors. He flapped his tiny wings excitedly and flew to see his friends. "Bella, Benny, let's go find the colors of the rainbow," he called. Bella the butterfly fluttered her colorful wings, and Benny the bunny hopped along, eager to help their friend. They traveled to the sparkling river where the water danced with shades of blue and green. "Look at those lovely colors," chirped Bella. Next, they went to the golden meadow where the sunflowers swayed in the gentle breeze. "These yellows are so bright," laughed Benny. Nelson's heart filled with joy as he saw all the beautiful colors. As they explored, Nelson realized something wonderful. "I have the colors of the forest inside me," he exclaimed, his heart fluttering with happiness. He didn't need a rainbow crest to be special. His friends loved him just the way he was. With newfound confidence, Nelson sang a joyful song, and the forest echoed back with happiness. From that day on, Nelson proudly showed off his little head without a colorful crest. He sang his songs, played with his friends, and reminded everyone that it's not about how you look, but the love you share that makes you shine the brightest. And in his heart, he carried the colors of friendship wherever he flew. The Curious Kitten's Tale. Once upon a time in a cheerful little neighborhood, there lived a curious kitten named Whiskers. With her soft white fur and bright green eyes, she loved to explore every nook and cranny around her home. One sunny morning, as the birds chirped a happy tune, Whiskers peeked out of her cozy garden. "What adventure awaits me today?" she wondered, her tiny tail twitching with excitement. With a quick leap, Whiskers darted down the garden path. She spotted her friend Benny the bunny hopping by. "Where are you going, Benny?" she asked. "I'm off to find the biggest carrot in the garden. Want to join me?" Whiskers' eyes sparkled with excitement. "Oh yes, let's go together." And off they hopped, side by side, giggling and chasing butterflies. As they searched high and low, they met Leela the wise owl, who was perched on a branch. "Hello, Whiskers and Benny. What brings you to my tree?" she hooted. "We're looking for the biggest carrot," exclaimed Benny. Leela smiled. "I saw a giant carrot over by the big oak tree. But be careful, there might be some surprises along the way." Excited by the news, Whiskers and Benny hurried towards the oak tree, but suddenly they heard a rustling sound. Out popped Sammy the squirrel, his bushy tail twitching. "What are you two up to?" he asked. "We're on a mission for the biggest carrot," Whiskers replied. Sammy grinned. "I love carrots. Can I join you?" With a cheer, the three friends continued their journey together. At last, they reached the big oak tree, and there it was, a giant carrot glowing in the sunlight. The friends cheered and danced around it. They learned that the greatest treasure wasn't just the carrot, but the fun they had together and the friendship they shared. Whiskers purred happily, knowing that her curiosity had led her to the best adventure of all. The quick foot of Quinn. In the heart of the sunny forest lived Quinn, a little fox with the quickest foot you ever did see. Quinn loved to zip and zoom through the trees, faster than the wind and quicker than the buzzing bees. One bright morning, all the forest friends gathered around, whispering about a surprise race that was about to be found. Quinn's ears perked up, and his tail twitched with glee. Today was the day to run wild and free. "Ready, set, go," called the wise old owl from his tall tree. Quinn dashed off with a hop, skip, and a jump, his feet barely touching the soft, green ground. He raced past sparkling streams that giggled as he splashed through, and colorful flowers that waved their petals hello. Along the way, Quinn saw a little bunny stuck in some bushes. Without slowing down too much, Quinn stopped and helped the bunny out, then zipped ahead with a happy shout. As Quinn neared the finish line, he heard cheers from all his friends. They clapped and laughed, happy to see Quinn's quick feet and kind heart. Quinn slowed down to join them, smiling a big fox smile. He learned that being fast was fun, but sharing the adventure and helping friends made the race the best day ever. Together, they all danced under the blue sky, celebrating the quick foot of Quinn. The wordplay of Wendy and William. Once upon a time in a cheerful town lived two best friends, Wendy and William. They loved to play with words. One sunny day, they decided to create their own silly words. "What if we call a cat that dances a cat tango?" giggled Wendy. William laughed, "And a sandwich that sings could be a singwich." They clapped their hands, excited to make up more funny words. As they played, wonderful things began to happen. A friendly dragon named Dazzle appeared, twirling in the air. "I heard you say cat tango. Can you teach me to dance?" he asked with a wink. Wendy and William cheered, and they all began to dance together, laughing as they invented even more silly words. Next, they decided to create a new game. They called it Word Whirl. They took turns shouting their silly words, and everyone had to act them out. When Wendy shouted "jumping jelly bean," they all bounced around like jelly beans. And when William said "wiggly worm," they squiggled and giggled all over the grass. Everyone in the town came out to join the fun. By the end of the day, the whole town was filled with laughter and joy, thanks to Wendy and William's silly words. They had created a magical world where everyone could play, dance, and imagine together. As the sun set, Wendy and William promised to keep inventing new words, filling their town with fun and laughter forever. The family road trip of Rosie and Ryan. One sunny morning, Rosie and Ryan jumped into their family car, ready for a big road trip. "Where are we going?" Rosie asked, her eyes shining with excitement. "To the magic forest," Ryan replied, holding a map. They packed their favorite snacks and waved goodbye to their house, the adventure ahead making them giggle. As they drove along, they passed fields of flowers dancing in the breeze and tall trees whispering secrets. Suddenly, a friendly rabbit hopped alongside their car. "Hello, Rosie and Ryan," said the rabbit. "Would you like to play?" The siblings laughed and cheered. Yes. The rabbit led them to a sunny meadow where a picnic party was happening. Animals of all kinds were gathered: squirrels, birds, and even a wise old turtle. They shared sandwiches, grapes, and cookies. Rosie and Ryan laughed as they played games and danced with their new furry friends. After a day full of laughter and fun, it was time to head home. Rosie and Ryan waved goodbye to their new friends, promising to return. As they drove back, they shared stories of their adventure, feeling happy and loved. "Best road trip ever," they shouted together, dreaming of the next one. The friendly Cardinal's Crest. In a sunny forest, there lived a little red cardinal named Ruby. Ruby wasn't just any bird. On top of her head was a special crest that sparkled with a soft golden light. Every time Ruby helped a friend or shared a smile, her crest would glow even brighter. One morning, Ruby woke up feeling extra happy. She fluttered her wings and sang a sweet song, ready for a new day of adventures and kindness. As Ruby flew through the forest, she saw her friend Sammy the squirrel trying to reach a tasty acorn on a high branch. Ruby chirped, "I can help." She flapped her wings and gently nudged the acorn down. Sammy smiled and thanked Ruby, and right away, Ruby's crest sparkled a little brighter. Helping friends made her feel warm inside, and she loved seeing smiles all around. Next, Ruby spotted Bella the bunny hopping sadly near the bushes. Bella had lost her way back home. Ruby fluttered down beside her and said softly, "Don't worry, I'll help you find your way." Together, they walked through the forest, Ruby's crest glowing warmly as they followed the sunbeams. Soon, Bella saw her cozy burrow and hopped inside happily. Ruby's heart felt full of joy. Finally, Ruby came across Timmy, the tiny turtle who was stuck on a little hill. Timmy wanted to join the others but couldn't climb down. Ruby thought hard and then had a great idea. She asked her friend Sammy to help. Together, they made a soft leaf ramp for Timmy, who carefully slid down with a happy smile. Ruby's crest shone the brightest yet, because helping friends was the greatest magic of all. As the sun began to set, Ruby sat on her favorite tree branch, her golden crest glowing softly in the twilight. She looked around at her friends, Sammy, Bella, and Timmy, all happy and safe. Ruby knew that her special crest wasn't just magic, it was the kindness and friendship she shared every day. And with a happy chirp, she promised to keep spreading joy wherever she flew. The Happy Chipping Sparrow's Call. In a sunny meadow filled with blooming flowers, there lived a little bird named Sammy. Sammy was a chipping sparrow, and he loved to sing. Every morning, he perched on a branch and chirped a happy tune that danced through the air. His friends, the bunny, the squirrel, and the deer, would stop what they were doing to listen. Sammy's sweet song made the flowers sway and the sun shine even brighter. "Sing again, Sammy," they would call out, their hearts filled with joy. One day, Sammy decided to sing an even happier song. "Today, I will sing about our fun times together," he chirped excitedly. The bunny bounced, the squirrel clapped his tiny paws, and the deer swayed side to side. They all knew this would be a special song. As Sammy sang, the meadow seemed to come alive. Butterflies fluttered and bees buzzed, dancing along to the rhythm of his joyful melody. Suddenly, something magical happened. As Sammy hit a high note, a rainbow appeared in the sky. All the animals gasped in wonder. "Look at the colors!" exclaimed the bunny. Sammy smiled, his heart swelling with happiness. "It's our friendship that created this rainbow," he chirped. Together, they danced and sang under the colorful arch, feeling the warmth of their friendship shining brighter than the sun. From that day on, whenever Sammy sang, the rainbow would come to visit. The animals knew that his happy call was a special gift that brought them together. And so, in the sunny meadow, every day was filled with music, laughter, and the beautiful colors of friendship. Sammy, the chipping sparrow's call, was not just a song. It was a reminder that joy shared with friends creates magic in the world. The lazy days of summer. One bright summer morning, Benny the bunny woke up feeling extra sleepy. The sun was shining warmly through the leaves of the big oak tree outside his cozy burrow. Today was a perfect day for being lazy and enjoying the slow rhythm of summer. Benny stretched his little paws, yawned a big bunny yawn, and decided to spend the day just relaxing under his favorite shady tree. The gentle breeze made the leaves dance, and the sunlight sprinkled playful shadows all around. As Benny rested, colorful butterflies began to flutter by, curious about the sleepy bunny. He watched them with wide eyes, fascinated by their bright wings and gentle movements. Slowly, Benny reached out a paw and giggled when one butterfly landed softly on his nose. The lazy day suddenly felt full of tiny adventures wrapped in peaceful moments. Benny smiled, feeling happy just being still and watching the world around him. After a little while, Benny hopped down to the cool creek nearby. The water sparkled in the sunlight, inviting him to splash and play. Benny dipped his paws in the refreshing water and giggled as little fish swam by. He lay back on the soft grass by the creek, watching fluffy clouds drift slowly across the bright blue sky. The lazy days of summer were perfect for taking breaks, dreaming big dreams, and feeling the warm sun on his fur. As the sun began to set, painting the sky with soft pinks and oranges, Benny felt sleepy once again. He curled up under the big oak tree, the butterflies resting nearby, and the gentle sounds of summer all around him. Lazy days are the best days, Benny thought with a happy sigh. And with that, he closed his eyes, dreaming of more warm, slow, and magical summer moments to come. The Butterfly Garden of Benny and Bella. Once upon a time, in a sunny little town, lived two best friends named Benny and Bella. They loved to play outside, but their favorite place was a magical garden filled with butterflies. Every day after school, They would rush to the garden to see what surprises awaited them. The flowers danced in the breeze, and the butterflies sparkled like jewels in the sunlight. One sunny afternoon, Benny spotted a butterfly with shimmering wings as blue as the sky. "Look, Bella," he exclaimed. "That butterfly looks like a tiny cloud." Bella giggled, "And it's so beautiful. Let's see if it will come to us." They both stood still, hoping to make a new friend. To their surprise, the butterfly fluttered closer and landed on Benny's hand. "Hello," it said in a soft, gentle voice. "I'm Bella the butterfly. Welcome to our garden. Every butterfly here wants to be your friend." Benny and Bella gasped with delight. They had never talked to a butterfly before. Bella the butterfly told them about the magic of the garden. When friends share, the flowers bloom brighter and the butterflies dance higher. Let's plant some seeds together. Benny and Bella nodded eagerly. They gathered seeds and started planting them in the soft, warm soil. As they planted, they sang a happy song about friendship. Soon, the garden was bursting with colors, and the butterflies twirled around them in joy. Benny and Bella laughed and danced, knowing they had created something wonderful together. From that day on, their butterfly garden was filled with laughter, love, and friendship. The Orange Odyssey of Olivia and Owen. Once upon a time, in a sunny little town, lived two best friends named Olivia and Owen. One bright morning, they discovered a mysterious path in their backyard leading to a magical orange grove. With excitement bubbling inside them, they decided to follow the path and see what adventures awaited them. As they entered the grove, the air was sweet with the scent of oranges, and the trees sparkled in the sunlight. Suddenly, a cheerful squirrel popped out from behind a tree. "Welcome to the Orange Grove," he squeaked. "I'm Sammy. Do you want to have some fun?" Olivia and Owen nodded eagerly, their eyes wide with wonder. Sammy led them to a game of orange toss. They took turns tossing oranges into a basket while the wise old owl, perched high above, hooted in encouragement. "Great job," the owl called out. Olivia and Owen giggled and cheered as they played, feeling the joy of friendship filling their hearts. After the game, they sat down to enjoy some delicious orange slices. "Sharing makes everything sweeter," said Owen, and Olivia smiled. Just then, a gentle breeze rustled the leaves, and they heard a soft voice. "You two are wonderful friends. Always share your adventures." It was the spirit of the grove, and they felt a warm glow inside. As the sun began to set, Olivia and Owen waved goodbye to their new friends, promising to return. They walked back home, hearts full of joy and laughter. "What an adventure!" Olivia exclaimed. "The Orange Grove is our secret place." And from that day on, they knew that friendship and sharing made every journey special. The Sad Little Cloud. Once upon a time, in a big, bright sky, there lived a sad little cloud. He floated around, but instead of being fluffy and white, he was gray and droopy. The other clouds laughed and played, but the sad little cloud just sighed. "Why am I so sad?" he wondered. wishing he could find his lost smile. One sunny day, the sad little cloud decided to ask his friends for help. He floated down to a bright yellow sun. "Mr. Sun, can you help me find my smile?" The sun smiled back and said, "Of course, let's ask the rainbow." So they both set off to find the rainbow, hoping it could brighten the sad little cloud's day. When they reached the rainbow, it was dazzling. The sad little cloud exclaimed, "Rainbow, can you help me find my smile?" The rainbow giggled and replied, "Sometimes smiles are hidden in the laughter of friends. Let's play a game." They danced and twirled, and the sad little cloud felt a little brighter. Suddenly, the sad little cloud noticed a little bird laughing nearby. He asked, "Why are you laughing?" The bird chirped, "I just saw a funny flower that dances in the wind. Come see." The sad little cloud floated over, and as he watched the flower dance, he couldn't help but smile. And just like that, the sad little cloud found his smile again. From that day on, the sad little cloud wasn't sad anymore. He learned that laughter and friendship could bring sunshine to even the cloudiest days. He floated happily in the sky, playing with his friends, spreading smiles wherever he went. The fun of Benny and Bella. Once upon a time in a bright, sunny forest, there lived a cheerful bunny named Benny and a playful bear named Bella. Benny had the softest, fluffiest fur, and Bella had the warmest, biggest hug. Every day they would hop and bounce through the enchanted forest, playing hide and seek among the colorful flowers and tall trees. "Let us have an adventure today," Benny exclaimed with a twinkle in his eye. Bella nodded excitedly, her bow bouncing as she jumped up and down. As they wandered deeper into the forest, they stumbled upon a sparkling stream. The water shimmered like diamonds. "Let's splash," Bella shouted. They jumped into the water, giggling and splashing each other. Benny made funny faces, while Bella tried to catch the fluttering dragonflies that danced above the water. They laughed so much that their giggles echoed through the trees. After their splashy fun, they noticed a beautiful rainbow stretching across the sky. "Let's chase the rainbow," Benny suggested. They ran together, their hearts racing with excitement. As they reached the end of the rainbow, they found a pot filled with colorful candies. Bella's eyes sparkled, and Benny couldn't believe their luck. "This is the best day ever," they shouted together. Benny and Bella shared the candies, tasting all the different flavors. They laughed, danced, and promised to always have fun adventures together. As the sun began to set, they sat by the stream, their bellies full and their hearts even fuller. "Every day is an adventure when we're together," Bella said, and Benny nodded, feeling grateful for their magical day in the enchanted forest. The imaginary friends of Ivy and Ian. Every morning, Ivy and Ian wake up to a very special surprise. Their imaginary friends come to life. Today, the fluffy purple dragon named Dazzle swoops in with glittery wings, while Jiggy the tall giraffe stretches her long neck to say hello. Ivy giggles as the bouncing green bunny, Bop, twirls around her feet, and Ian claps his hands when the tiny fairy, Flicker, sprinkles sparkling dust all around. Their playroom turns into a magical land where colors dance and laughter fills the air. Today, Ivy and Ian decide to go on an adventure to find the rainbow treasure. With Dazzle leading the way, they imagine flying over fluffy clouds painted in every color. Jiggy stretches her neck to help spot the treasure from above, while Bop bounces happily beside them. Flicker lights up the path with her glowing wings. Together, they imagine a world where trees sing songs and rivers sparkle like diamonds. Every step is filled with wonder and excitement, and Ivy and Ian's laughter makes the adventure even more magical. As the sun begins to set, Ivy and Ian's magical journey comes to an end. They thank their imaginary friends for the wonderful day filled with fun and friendship. Dazzle curls up softly in the corner, Jiggy gently lowers her head to say goodbye, Bop gives a happy hop, and Flicker twinkles one last time before resting. Ivy and Ian feel warm and happy, knowing their friends will always be there whenever they want to imagine new adventures. With a big yawn, they snuggle close, ready to dream of all the magic tomorrow will bring. The Yummy Adventures of Timmy and Tina. One sunny morning, Timmy and Tina found a sparkling map in their backyard. It wasn't an ordinary map, it was magical. It showed a path to a land made entirely of yummy treats. Excited, they held hands and stepped through a shimmering rainbow gate that appeared right before their eyes. Suddenly, they were surrounded by candy trees that smelled like strawberries and chocolate rivers that sparkled under the sun. "Wow, Tina, this place is deliciously amazing," Timmy exclaimed with a big smile. As they walked deeper into the candy land, a friendly gummy bear bounced over to greet them. "Hello, I'm Bubbles, the gummy bear. Would you like to taste the rainbow lollipops that grow on the trees?" Timmy and Tina nodded eagerly. They each grabbed a bright, swirly lollipop that tasted like a mix of every fruit they loved. The sweet flavors made them giggle and dance. "Everything here is so yummy and fun," Tina said, spinning around happily. Suddenly, the ground beneath them started to bubble and ripple. A chocolate river was just ahead. Timmy and Tina spotted a friendly chocolate fish splashing in the water. "Would you like a ride?" the fish asked with a wink. Carefully, they climbed on a marshmallow boat floating nearby. The boat gently sailed down the sweet-smelling river, passing by jelly bean flowers and marshmallow clouds. Timmy and Tina laughed as the soft boat rocked gently on the chocolate waves. At the end of the river, Timmy and Tina found a gingerbread castle with candy cane pillars. Inside, a cheerful candy wizard greeted them. "Welcome, brave adventurers. You've completed the yummy journey. Your reward is a special treat, friendship and sharing." The wizard waved a sparkling wand, and a big bowl of mixed sweets appeared. Timmy and Tina shared the treats happily, knowing that the best adventures are the ones shared with friends. As the sun began to set, the magical candy land faded, and they found themselves back in their backyard, smiling and full of sweet memories. The Little Family of Lily and Leo. In a bright, sunny forest lived a little family, Lily the bunny and Leo the lion cub. They loved to play and explore together every day. One morning, As the sun painted the sky with golden colors, Lily and Leo decided to visit a magical place called Rainbow Meadow. It was said to be full of colors, laughter, and surprises. Holding paws, they hopped and trotted through the tall green trees, feeling the soft breeze and hearing birds sing happy songs. When Lily and Leo reached Rainbow Meadow, their eyes sparkled. The meadow was covered with flowers of every color you could imagine. Butterflies danced around them, and the air smelled sweet like honey. Suddenly, a friendly squirrel popped out from behind a bush, waving its tiny paws. "Welcome to Rainbow Meadow," it said with a smile. Lily and Leo giggled and joined the squirrel, ready for a day of fun and new friends. As they played, a wise owl swooped down from a tall tree. "Hello, little explorers," hooted the owl. "Would you like to find the sparkling stream that sings when the sun shines?" Lily and Leo nodded eagerly. The owl led them gently through the meadow until they heard a soft, tinkling sound. There it was, the sparkling stream, glistening like diamonds. The little family sat by the water, feeling happy and peaceful, sharing stories and laughter under the warm sun. As the day turned to evening, the sky painted itself with a big, beautiful rainbow stretching across the meadow. Lily and Leo hugged their new friends and promised to visit again soon. They walked back home, their hearts full of joy and their minds filled with wonderful memories. Together, the little family knew every day held magic when they were side by side, exploring and caring for one another in their bright, friendly forest. The Tiny Tiger's Roar. Once upon a time, in a bright green jungle, lived a small tiger named Tiny. Tiny Tiger was not like the other tigers. His stripes were short and his paws were little. But Tiny had the biggest dream of all. He wanted to roar just like the big tigers. "I want everyone to hear me," he exclaimed. He looked around, hoping to find a way to make his roar as mighty as the tallest trees. One sunny day, Tiny Tiger decided to ask his friends for help. He scampered to see Ollie the owl, who was perched high in a tree. "Ollie, how can I make a big roar?" Tiny asked. Ollie fluffed his feathers and smiled. "You don't need to be big to have a loud roar, Tiny. Just be yourself." Tiny thought hard, but he still felt unsure. "What if I can't do it?" he worried. Next, Tiny Tiger visited Momo the monkey. "Momo, can you help me roar like a big tiger?" he asked. Momo giggled and swung down to Tiny's level. "Of course, let's practice together." They both took a deep breath. Tiny tried to roar, but it came out more like a squeak. Momo laughed and said, "That's a cute roar. Let's try again." Tiny felt a little better, but still wanted to sound like a lion. Finally, Tiny Tiger approached Ellie the elephant. "Ellie, I want a roar that everyone will hear," he exclaimed. Ellie looked down at Tiny with kindness. "You know, Tiny, your roar is special just the way it is. Let's try it together and I'll cheer you on." With Ellie's encouragement, Tiny took a deep breath and let out his tiny roar. It was small, but it was full of heart. With his friends gathered around, Tiny took one last deep breath. He let out his best roar yet. "Roar!" It echoed through the jungle, and to his surprise, all the animals stopped to listen. Tiny realized that even a tiny roar could be heard if it was filled with courage. The jungle cheered, and Tiny felt proud. "I did it!" he shouted, and his friends clapped their paws and wings in joy.